the last section that we have discussed. Okay. So we have been discussing about the at-grade intersections. At-grade intersections are the meeting points of more than two highways. Okay. So here it can be different types, just like a channelized or unchannelized. Channelized or unchannelized means there can be the provision of islands. Channelizing islands can be provided in order to separate the traffic which are left moving traffic and right moving traffic. Then separation islands we have seen. Then various rotary islands that also we have studied, and we will study the rotary island in detail. So I have shared the images of all these. So during the last class we have seen it is a intersection and it's an at-grade intersection. So here you can see various road markings. These are the zebra crossings that you will see, and this is the traffic signal that also we will study. And here you can see the traffic lighting is provided. Okay, so highway lighting is provided. Here the pedestrian can move. Okay, we will discuss the components later. So here you can see it's a grade separated intersection, and it is what the rotary intersection. So you have to look at this figure to study the rotary island. So here, what are the components that you can see? First of all, the common roads that you can see, just like this. This is a component in the from the right direction, and here you can see from the left direction there is a road, and from here also you can see a road. From here you can see another road. So all the vehicles are moving along the left direction. Okay, so left side of the road is taken by the individual roads, individual vehicles. And now in order to study the moving characteristics of these vehicles, I have to introduce certain traffic maneuvers. So what is this traffic maneuvers? MANOEUVERS. Okay, MANOEUVERS. Traffic maneuvers. So if you are driving a vehicle, then you may be performing all these traffic maneuvers. So I will draw them, then you will get a clear understanding. Just like suppose you are moving in this direction. Okay, so you can move straight, or if you want to move left, then how you will take left? In this way. Okay, so this is a kind of traffic maneuver, and this is known as diverging. Okay, diverging. So you are diverging to the left. You can diverge to the right also, like this. Okay, you can diverge to the right also. And this is a kind of, this is the first kind of traffic maneuver. And in the same way, you can perform another maneuver which is known as merging. Okay, so a vehicle can be moving in this direction, and if you want to follow that vehicle and you are moving in this direction, then what you will do? You want to follow this vehicle and you are coming in this direction. So what will do? Definitely you will go like this. Okay. You will go like this. So here you are merging with this line by making a small angle. Here the angle is very small. Okay. So this type of movement in this direction is known as a merging. You can merge from this side also. Okay. So this is a merging. And we are having another traffic maneuver which is known as crossing. So what is this crossing? If you don't want to follow that vehicle, then what you will do? You simply follow your path. Okay, you are moving in this direction, so you will move your direction. Okay, you will cross here, you will cross this path. So this kind of maneuver is known as crossing. Okay, here it is known as crossing. So you have crossed the path of this vehicle. And some another kind of movement which is known as weaving. So weaving means WEAVANG. So suppose you are moving in this direction. Okay, you want to change the lane. You want to change it from this lane to this lane. So what you should do? So you have to perform an operation like this. Okay, so here what you have done? Simply look at here. You have converged from here and diverged it here. Okay, so you can see it is a combination of two maneuvers. We have already studied the first and second maneuvers. These are the diverging and the merging. Okay, I hope it's clear. Here what you have done, here you have diverged. Okay, from this path you have diverged to this direction, and here what happened, you have merged with this path. Okay, so in this way you can weave. So this kind of motion is known as weaving. Okay, so by weaving you can convert your lane from this lane to this lane. You can transfer by weaving. I hope the weaving maneuver is clear for you. Danya, is it understood? What is the diverging, what is merging, what is crossing, and what is weaving? Okay, Sijin, I hope it's understood. Okay, anyone? No comments. Okay, so why I have discussed all these maneuvers? So it will be helpful to study the rotary. So I have already showed the image of the rotary, and now you have to see the diagram of the rotary. So I hope you can see this diagram, isn't it? Diagram കാണുന്നില്ലേ? ആര്യ, അക്ഷയ, anyone? Okay, so in this diagram you can see various kind of traffic maneuvers. Okay, so can you identify the traffic maneuvers? So here it's a rotary intersection. Okay, so I have already discussed it. Rotary intersection is also a kind of at-grade intersection. Okay, we have studied four types of at-grade intersections: channelized, unchannelized, rotary, and signalized. Okay, so if you want to study the rotary island or rotary at-grade intersection, then you have to study various traffic maneuvers. Here you can see the vehicle is moving in this direction. Okay, and what happened? Suddenly the vehicle was to have to suppose the vehicle want to go in this direction. Okay, and it is coming in this direction. Okay, so how it will go up to this much? So for that purpose it have to perform various maneuvers. So first at the beginning it have to move like this. Then what should do? Then from this lane it has to shift to this lane. Okay, why it is shifting towards this lane? Because if the vehicles coming, so here you can see there are two lanes. Okay, like this. So around this rotary you can see there are two lanes. One lane is moving like this, and the other lane will be moving like this in this direction, and it is always in this direction. Okay, so the inner lane will always rotate. Okay, so the what is the inner lane is doing? It is always rotating like this. Okay, just like this. All the vehicles are moving like this only. And if any vehicle want to leave, then what it will do? It will take the weaving action towards that particular lane. Okay. So if I want to exit, I can simply do like this. Okay. And if I want to exit from here, what should I do? First, here, if I want to follow this path, then definitely in this way I can move. Okay, I hope you can see the mouse pointer. Okay, in this way I can move definitely. But if I want to move in this direction, what should I do? If I want to move in this direction, first I have to shift my channel from here to here. Okay, so in this way I have to view. I hope you are listening. So in this way I have to take a weaving action. So here, if the weaving action is completed, then I will reach it in the inner radius. Okay. So in the inner radius, I have to rotate like this. So once I reach here, I have to stop the rotation, and then I have to again view. Again, I have to view to the second line. Okay. I have to view towards this line. So I have viewed. The weaving action you can see here also. Okay. In this way, the weaving action can be completed. And after that, I have to move like this. Okay, so here you can see two types of weaving actions. So the first action is occurring at here, and while leaving, again I have to perform a weaving action. So I hope this technique is understood for you. എങ്ങനെയാണ് വെഹിക്കിള് റോട്ടറിയിലേക്ക് എൻ്റർ ചെയ്യുന്നതെന്നും എങ്ങനെയാണ് ലീവ് ചെയ്യുന്നതെന്നും മനസ്സിലായതോ? സോ എനിവൺ ജസ്റ്റ് കമന്റ്. I hope it's clear. Clear അല്ലേ മുഹമ്മദ്? So what is happening in a rotary? So first of all, every vehicle will enter into the rotary from the left side. Okay, so the vehicles are moving in the left side of the road, and the vehicle will enter into the rotary, and then it will go to the inner lane. Okay, so within the rotary you can see two lanes, an outer lane and an inner lane. Okay, so the vehicle will perform the rotation motion within the inner lane of the rotary until it reaches its exit. Okay, once it reaches the exit, it will perform a weaving action, and by this weaving action it will change its, or it will shift its lane. So it will reach up to the outer lane, and from that outer lane it can easily diverge to the exit. Understood അല്ലേ മുഹമ്മദ്? മുഹമ്മദ് അഷ്റഫ്, anyone? തഥാഗത്, just comment. No one. Okay, so this is how you have to take a rotatory intersection. Okay, so or a rotary intersection. So here once again you can see the movement. So here in the left direction the vehicle is moving like this, and if it want to go like this, then it can go, or otherwise if it want to go in this direction, then what it will do? It will take a weaving action at this point, and it will enter into the inner circle, and once it reaches its exit point, then it will take again a weaving action, and it will reach up to the outer lane. So from that outer lane it can go like this. So here in order to separate these paths, they are provided the separation islands. Okay, and here you can see the channelizing islands in order to channelize the left moving and the right moving vehicles. And here you can see the center rotary island. Okay, central rotary island also you can see. So this is the action, or this is the maneuver by which the vehicle move within the rotary island. Now you can see various operations. So what are the various operations? So here it is the diverging, and here it is a weaving, and once it weaved it will move like this, and here again it is the weaving, and once the weaving is completed it will converge to the this direction. Okay, it will converge towards this direction, and it will move away. So once a diverging, then a weaving, then again a weaving, and after that a converging. So in that way, it will move its path. So every vehicle will move like this. If it want to go to this direction, then it will rotate up to this much distance. And if it want to go to this direction, then what it will do? It will take all this distance and it will go like this. Okay. So we will study the technical terms just like the weaving length. What is this weaving length? The length between two consecutive weavings. Okay. So here there is a weaving. So if a vehicle want to leave at this junction, okay, at this junction, if a vehicle want to leave, then it should take the weaving at this point, okay, and if a vehicle want to leave at this junction, then it had to take a weaving at this point, okay, and if a vehicle want to leave at this junction, then it had to take a weaving from here, okay, that we have drawn, okay, so that weaving action will occur at this point, okay, so in this way the vehicle will leave, okay, so after that it will move like this. So the weaving occurs at this point. Okay, so these are the weaving points. Okay, so the distance in between the weaving points is known as the weaving length. So a individual weaving length consists of the distance between the two weaving points. That means the distance between the points at which the weaving occurs. Okay, so that is the weaving length. And what is the weaving angle? So weaving angle means you can see it is the direction by which the vehicles are coming. Okay, so it is the direction by which the vehicles are leaving. So the weaving angle is the angle in between the direction of the entry of the vehicle and the direction of the exit of the vehicle in between the consecutive lanes. Okay, so here it is a lane and it is a consecutive lane. So it's an entry lane and it is an exit lane. Okay, so the angle between this entry lane and exit lane, it is marked here. Okay, so here you can draw a tangent like this. Okay, so here you can draw a tangent for the upcoming vehicle, and for the leaving vehicle you can draw a tangent like this, and the angle making by these two tangents will give you the weaving angle. Okay, so this angle and this angle will be the same, so these angles are known as weaving angles. So that is what the weaving angle and weaving length. Okay, I hope it's also clear for you. So once you study the entire diagram, then we will move on to the calculation to find out the capacity of the rotary. So I hope the diagram is clear for you. Danish, is this diagram okay for you? Just comment. Okay, in this diagram you can point out all the objects and you can explain them. Just like these are the individual roads. Okay, so from this road, it is the entrance road and it is an exit road. Okay, so here we can see all these roads are having both entrance and exit. So here it is the channelizing island, here it is a separating island, and here you can see the rotary island, and here you can see there is a weaving action. So in front of all the exits you can see a weaving action. So the distance between two weaving points is known as the weaving length, and the angle between the upcoming vehicle and the ongoing vehicle is termed as weaving angle. Okay, so what is this R minimum? So you can see this rotary island is not a perfect circle. Okay, so it is an oval shape. Okay, it can be of any shape. Just in this example, it is given as an oval. So for this oval, you can see there will be a minimum radius and a maximum radius. Okay, so minimum radius means from this point you can see that you can draw the radius like this, and if you are drawing like this, then definitely it will make the radius which are greater than this radius. Okay, so the greatest radius can be taken as the R maximum. Okay, so there will be an R minimum and R maximum. So that will be particular for a oval rotary. Okay, so the rotary can be of any shape depending upon the number of individual highways and the angle at which the highways are meeting. Okay, so that we have already discussed. I remember. So we have discussed the various shapes for the rotary during the last class. Okay, these are the different shapes for the rotary. So here it is a perfect circle. Here this is somewhat oval, and here is it's a perfect oval. Okay, so here you can see there's a perfect circle, but the number of individual rods are 4. So here you can see one more interesting thing is that always the radius of curvature of the upcoming path will be minimum. Okay, you can see here the okay here the radius of rotation or the radius of curvature will be minimum. Okay, here this in this direction the vehicles are entering, and what about the vehicles are leaving? So vehicles are leaving without making any curvature. Okay, so this is always like that because the entry curve is or the entry direction the curvature will be more. Why at the entrance direction the curvature is more? Here you can see at the exit direction there is no curvature. The vehicle can directly exit without taking any curve. Okay, so here also the vehicle can directly exit without taking any curve. But for entering the rotary, the vehicle has to take a curve. Okay, so here also for entering the rotary, the vehicle has to take a curve. But here it need not take any curve. So in the previous figure also we have seen the vehicles should take more curvature while entering. Okay, I will show you. Okay, here you look at here you can see. Okay, here in this direction the vehicles are coming. So here you look at this is having more curvature, and this is having very less curvature. Okay, this is almost straight. Look at here also you can see it is a direction of entry. It is having more curvature, but the exit direction is having less curvature. Okay, so it will be like this because once the vehicle is coming coming towards the rotary, the vehicle will always be in a slower speed. Okay, so the vehicle will slow down once it is coming towards the rotary. It's always like that because inside the rotary there is a restriction for the speed. So the vehicle will slowly come. So for a slow coming vehicle, there can be a maximum curvature. But once it decided to leave the rotary, then what will happen? Definitely, it will speed up. Okay, so if the vehicle is speeding up, then you cannot provide a steep curvature. Okay, so for the leading vehicle, it will speed up. So for the speeding up vehicles, it's better. Don't provide that much curvature. Okay, so that is why always the path of entrance is having more curvature at the rotary compared to the path of exit. Okay, I hope these points are clear for you. Is it clear? Anyone? Please respond. Rishil, Jairam, anyone? Yes. Okay, so these are the simple points, but they may be asking in exam. So now I am moving on to the equation to find out the capacity of individual highways within the rotary. So the equations we can directly write in QP. QP is equal to 280 into W into 1 plus E by W into 1 minus P by 3 whole divided by 1 plus W by L. Okay, what is this QP? So we have studied the Q stands for the capacity. So the capacity, traffic capacity we have already studied. So it is the ability of a highway. It is the ability of a road to accommodate a maximum volume of vehicles. Okay. So volume and capacity are having the same definition. So traffic volume is nothing other than the traffic capacity. But the traffic volume is the ability of a traffic, but the traffic capacity is the ability of a highway. That is only the difference. Okay. So here the highway is having an ability to accommodate a maximum volume of vehicles. So that is known as the maximum capacity. So how to find out the capacity of a highway? So for that purpose, you can introduce this equation. So here you have to study the meaning for various terms. Here the first term W. W means it is the width of weaving section. What is this weaving section? So in this figure you can see the weaving section. So width of weaving section also you can see from the figure. Okay, so here this much is the width of weaving section. Okay, so this width. So we have seen in this section the weaving occurs. Okay, so the width at which the weaving occurs is known as the width of weaving section. Now you can see a term E, small e. In that equation, what is the small e? Small e is equal to E1 plus E2 by 2. What is this E1 plus E2 by 2? So here you can see this is E1 and this is E2. Okay, so or here we can take E1 and E2. So E1 is the width of the road at which the vehicles enter, and E2 is the width of the road at which the vehicle leaves. Okay, so the width of the road at which the vehicle enters and the width of the road at which the vehicle leaves. Those two widths are known as E1 and E2. So the equation to find out this weaving width or the width of weaving is simply given as W is equal to E1 plus E2 by 2 plus 3.5. Okay, so this can be taken as the W or the width of weaving. The width of weaving W can be taken as E1 plus E2 by 2, where E1 and E2 are given like this. Okay, so it should be the 3.5 plus the average of the width of the entry and width of the exit. Okay, so here this 3.5 you may be remembering. This is the width of an individual lane of a highway. Okay, so the width of individual lane of a highway as per the IRC recommendation is 3.5 meters. So that you have studied in the first module. Okay, so this much distance you will get, and practically it is some 6 to 18 meters. Okay, 6 to 18 meters the width of weaving. Okay, so this width of weaving is capital W. Okay, so we are again moving on to the equation. So W we have seen. Usually it will be 6 to 18 meters, and it is E1 plus E2 by 2 plus 3.5 meters. Okay. So what is this P? So P is the proportion of weaving traffic. So that's really an important term. Now before the L is the length of weaving. So what is this length of weaving section? L. So weaving length. You can mark here as length L. So weaving length, what is weaving length? We have already discussed it. The distance between the nearest weaving points. Okay. So what is this P? So that is the only remaining term that you have to explain. So for that purpose, we have to consider a figure like this. So individually you have to take a section. Okay, it will be like this. Okay, here you can see the traffic island, central island. Okay, central rotary island will be like this. Here it is your individual road. Okay, it will be like this, separated like this, and here you can see there will be a separation like this. Okay, in this direction you are coming. So certain number of vehicles will move like this. Okay, so let me take the number of vehicles moving like this as A. The number of vehicles moving like this as taken as A. And certain vehicles, what they will do, they simply weave to the direction like this. Okay, so there will be weaving action like this. Okay, from this line, they weaved to this day. So it is the weaving traffic towards the right. So weaving traffic towards the right. So these are taken as B. The number of vehicles weaving towards right is taken as B. I hope it's okay. Okay, അല്ലേ? Clarity ഉണ്ടല്ലോ. Okay, so the vehicles, the number of vehicles moving like this is taken as small b, and some other kind of vehicles will come like this. So in for this individual path, I'm doing like this. So certain kind of vehicles will come like this. Okay, so in this direction. So this number of vehicles which are right turning traffic moving along the right extreme lane. That means these are the right turning traffic that I can mark like this. Just from here they came. Okay, so from here it came and it weaved like this. Okay, there was a leaving action like this. So this weaving action is in the left direction. Okay, so the weaving action towards left is taken as C, and this is the D. D means left turning vehicle. Okay, so just opposed to this. Okay, just opposed to this, it will occur here. That means the number of vehicles leaving at this section is taken as D, and they will definitely be left moving vehicles. Okay, so in the left direction they will turn. Okay, like this, and certain vehicles will be weaving like this. So from here to here, just like here. Okay, so these kind of vehicles are termed as C, small c. Okay, so in this way, here I can see A and B. Here it is C and D. So altogether, you will get the number of vehicles moving in this point or in this line. So in this way, all these vehicles will move either in the uh, in in the left lane or in the right lane. Okay, so for this individual vehicle, I can find the capacity. Okay, QP by taking that equation. That means B plus C divided by A plus B plus C plus D. So here I can count the traffic volume by simply standing here and counting the number of vehicles turning right, the number of vehicles turning left, then the number of vehicles taking the weaving action towards inward, then the number of vehicles taking the weaving action towards outward. Okay, all these four qualities are taken as A, B, C, and D. So these quantities can be counted by taking the traffic volume counting, and I can put it in the equation B plus C divided by A plus B plus C plus D. So in this way I can calculate the p value. It's a ratio, and I can substitute this p value in the equation. So I will get all the terms defined. Okay, so after that substitute all the values and you will get a QP. QP is the traffic capacity for that individual roadway. Okay, so in this way you can find out the traffic capacity and you can design that rotary. Okay, so you have to design the rotary for the road at which maximum traffic capacity occurs. Okay, so if you check that rotary, then you can see individual roadway are having individual capacities. So you have to design for the maximum capacity. That is what you have to remember. Okay, I hope it can be understood. Anyone, if anyone is having any doubt, just ask me. Okay, I hope all is clear. Anjusha. So for finding out the capacity, there was no problems asked from this section. But if they ask, then also you can do it by simply putting the values substituted. Okay, so here the thing that you should remember is the number A, B, C, and D. So they will not give the figure, and you have to you need not take the numbers from the figure, but they simply give you the details of the vehicles. So that from the details you can take the A, B, C, D values. Just like the A value stands for the left turning traffic, and the D value stands for the right turning traffic. So B value and C value are the weaving traffic. Okay, so so B value represents the right weaving traffic, and the C value represents the left weaving traffic. Okay, so right weaving and left weaving, then right turning and left turning. So in that way, you can see these four traffic volumes. So from that traffic volumes, you can simply calculate the P value and substitute. So after that, you will get the traffic capacity. Okay, so at the end during the revision we will do a problem, but the problems are not asked. Okay, so in this model you have to study a problem which is the Webster method of design of signals. So that definitely we will do. Each academic year they will ask the individual questions for the university for signal design. Okay. So today we have discussed about the rotary islands, and in the upcoming classes we will discuss the grade separated intersections also. And what about the signalized intersection? Signalized intersection is the fourth type of at grade intersection. So it is definitely simple for all of you. Just like we are providing a signal at the intersection, so that you can avoid the conflicts. Okay. So signal design separately we will study. So in signalized traffic, the advantages are it will reduce the accidents, then it will minimize the time of travel, it will minimize, then it will be more economic, then because less time means more economy, and there can be the provision of traffic police or traffic signals in the form of traffic lights. Okay. So that's all about it, the traffic, the signalized intersections. Okay. Okay, now just give me the attendance. Abhirami, Adarsh, Akash, Akshay, Akshaya. Please comment your name. Abhirami, Adarsh, Akash, Akshay, Akshaya. Okay. Akshaya, Anjusha, Arya, Asano, Adira. Yes. No, Aduna, Danish, Danya, Fatima Sahara, Fatima Sarna. Fatima Sarna.
Present, sir.
Okay. No. Tansila present. Then Goban, Jairam, Joshua, Muhammad Ashraf. Joshua, Ashraf. Yes. Joshua absent. Okay. Now Sijin, Rachel, Sandra, Sandra, Shafna. Yes. Now Shamjas, Sri Lakshmi, Shreya, Tadagar. Shreya, Tadagar. Okay. Now Usman, Bibilesh, Bibin, Ismail. Usman absent. Okay. Bibin, Bibin person. Now Anaga, Anubama, Muhammad, Muhammad. Okay. So for the grade separated intersections, we will just start. So grade separated intersection means you will be having different grades, and in all those grades you can have high grades. So it will definitely reduce the conflict points. Okay. And it can be of different types also, just like a direct, semi-direct, and indirect intersections. Okay. So we will discuss the diagram of these three grade separated intersections in detail during the next class, and we will see the advantages and disadvantages of this grade separated intersection. So that was a university question. So what are the advantages of this grade separated intersection? So that you may be knowing. So here the delay will be minimum, and it will make more economic. Then you can have more capacity for vehicles. And all of this you can write. So point wise, it will be available in the class note. So you have to read all those. And
Sir, ഞാൻ പ്രസന്റാ എൻ്റെ നെറ്റ്വർക്ക് ഇഷ്യൂ ഉണ്ട്.
Josh, okay, okay, okay. Okay, so we will continue the session tomorrow. Okay, I hope everything is clear for you. Clear, all right? Anyone?